What's up there, YouTube? Okay, so I thought I'd make a quick vlog here while I was driving on my way up the highway. And I was going to tell you about something that happened yesterday. So I was driving my bike up here towards Jacksonville yesterday, and I'm in the fast lane, and I'm doing like 85, 90 miles an hour, 85 to 90, somewhere in there. It's a 70 mile an hour speed limit, so I was going a little faster than normal, but I wasn't going too fast. Like right now I'm doing like 78, and I'm in the fast lane. There's a car in front of me, so most people do around 78 to 80 in the fast lane. But anyway, it was a situation just like this where I had a car in front of me and I'm doing 78 to 80, and a guy comes up behind me on a cruiser bike, it looked like a Harley or something like that from the front. I couldn't see, but from the front. And I'm riding, and he comes up behind me, and he's in my same path. So I move over so that we're staggered, because you're supposed to be riding in a staggered formation on a motorcycle. And we rode together like that for a few minutes, and then he passed me, went around me, and passed in front of the car in front of me. Or no, he just passed me and got right behind the car. Just went around me, and he waved to me in a friendly way. So we were being friendly, like bikers, we all wave to each other. Anyway, so he's up there, so he got in my lane again, so I moved over into the other side again, because he wasn't going a stagger formation when we're riding together. Because when you stagger, it's easier for the people behind you to see the brake lights and see two vehicles. It makes you look wider, so they can see you better. So anyway, needless to say, a car pulls up beside me and beside him. We kind of got blocked in for a little bit. We slowed down to about 80, 85, 80, somewhere in there. And we're going a good speed. And we rode like that for about 10 miles. And we rode there together for about 10 miles. And then there was a gap. So he swerved over to go off the gap. And I saw him swerve drastically, almost like an emergency maneuver, where the bike did the wave thing where it swerved over real quick, and it looked unsafe. It looked like an unsafe maneuver, like he was about to run into the car in front of him or something. And I thought, boy, that guy's he's kind of going kind of quick and out of his comfort zone there for a second. That's what it looked like to me. Anyway, he passes the two cars. And then he gets back over. I see him get back over in front of the two cars, and I couldn't see him anymore. But the gap cleared up, so I was like, well, there's a gap there. So I, gas it, and I go up there beside him. And as I'm pulling up beside the cars, I see their brake lights come on, and I look, and he's all the way on the shoulder, and he's wiping out. I guess he went off the shoulder, and he hit his rear tire, and there's trash all on the shoulders. When you get off the shoulder of the highway, that's not smooth road like what's on the highway. It's all gravel and trash from tire pieces and glass and all kind of junk in the center. It's not cleaned out. There's little bits of junk always in the center of the highway. So he wipes out, and his bike goes flying across the highway, all the way over to the other side of the highway, past the slow lane so this guy, I see him tumbling, like literally cartwheeling across the center of the highway. He gets up and goes back over into the emergency lane. He was walking. So I pull off, and I'm over there by his bike, and a tow truck pulls off in front of his bike. There was a tow truck coming. He turns his lights on and pulls off in front of the bike. And his bike is totaled. It's just smashed all up to bits. It was a nice bike. It was a Victory. It was a big V twin Victory motorcycle. And luckily, this guy was wearing a jacket with padding. He was wearing protective gear. He had gloves on, and he had a helmet on, it looked like a full face helmet, but it was actually a lift up like I have, like the kind that convertible flips up, a flip up helmet. So I just sped up and went around this guy. There's a cop coming by me right now. Look, the cop's flying by me. I just had a cop fly by me. So anyway, this guy wrecks his bike, and it was like right in here, right where I am now. His bike goes all the way across the highway. I pull over. This guy, I help him get across the road. He sits down. I tell him sit down. He took his helmet off, and his head seemed fine. I didn't see any cracks, cuts or anything in his head. The tow truck driver gets out, and he calls 911. So I let this guy use my phone, and I called his wife for him because he was wearing fingerless gloves. Now, he was wearing gloves. I'll give him credit for that, but he was wearing fingerless gloves. So, not really. So, I give him credit for wearing gloves, but he's wearing fingerless gloves. Fingerless gloves. His fingernails were busted off. His fingers were all bleeding, like all of them. Like one of his fingers was bleeding and cut up. And, he was a mess. Everything was a mess. So luckily he lived, but he lived because he was wearing gear. He was wearing a jacket, he was wearing a helmet, he was wearing jeans, and his jeans, the butt of his jeans was tore off, and I could see it had road rash pretty bad on his butt. His butt was
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
His ass was tore up. Let's just put it like that. He wasn't going to have a fun time sitting down anytime soon. He was going to be pretty uncomfortable. As he wasn't going to be sitting down anytime soon. His butt was in some trouble. So I got some pictures of it. So anyway, I let him call his wife. We called his wife, let her know what happened, and so that he didn't just get a call from the hospital or something, freaking her out. He talked to her on the phone. His name was Bill. He was a really nice guy. He thanked me and everything, and he sat down. And he was on his way from all the way from down at the Keys, and had driven up. He was going to Jacksonville, and he was almost to his friend's house in Jacksonville. So I called his friend also and let him know, and I sent them the pictures of everything that I took and everything. So I was just thinking about it today when I was driving up here, and I was like, life is too short to be riding recklessly and hurt yourself, and it ruin your motorcycle and ruin your day basically. And he got air flown to the hospital. He had a fractured elbow or something. His elbow had a fracture, and he got tore up pretty good, but he survived. He walked away from it. There's a lot of guys out there that ride the cruisers, especially, and I see them on sport bikes and everything. It's not just cruisers, but a lot of them on cruisers I see with no helmet. They're wearing a ball cap, or just a little beanie hat if they're wearing a helmet at all. Shorts, a t-shirt. I mean, they would have been ruined if that happened to somebody without the jacket and stuff. They wouldn't have. I mean, their arms would be just gone. Because his jacket was tore up pretty good, where it was scuffed and stuff. You can probably see in the pictures. His pants were tore up. There was blood. He was bleeding quite a bit and stuff like that from different places. But he fractures his elbow. And anyway, I was letting you guys know, life is too short to be out here. It's precious. It's too short to be out here making mistakes and being unsafe. It goes for everything. Like you complain about wearing a mask and the COVID-19 thing, protecting others and all this type of stuff. But really, when you think about it, what's the big deal? It's you're trying to save your life or save other people's lives. Stop and think about more than just yourself sometimes. Think about others. Help other people. Somebody gets stopped, help other people. I was the only one that stopped. Me and the tow truck was the only one. Another guy pulled behind, and then he took off like seconds later. He was only back there for a minute, and then he took off. And then the cop pulled behind me. So you'll see in the pictures there's a police car behind my bike because nobody else stopped. I stopped and helped the guy. A guy had a bad day. Really bad day. So just thought I'd share that little story with you, and don't go out and buy a $50 helmet. Don't ride around without a helmet. I mean, I can tell you not to. I don't want. I'm one of these people. I'm not going to force you. Use the power of the government to say you have to wear a helmet because seatbelt. Yeah, it's safer to wear a seatbelt. Yeah, it's safer to wear a helmet. But in the end, you're the one that's going to be hurt by it if you don't wear a helmet, you don't wear a seatbelt. It's not going to hurt somebody else, right? It's going to hurt you. So it's not the government's job to protect you from yourself. I don't know if you know that or not, but the government's job is to protect you from others, right? Not to protect you from yourself. So they don't want you hurting others. Not wearing a helmet isn't going to hurt other people. It's going to hurt you. Your head's going to get, smashed. You're the one that's going to, wake up paralyzed and in a hospital for the rest of your life or whatever, or dead if you wake up at all. But still, be smart. Wear a helmet. Wear protection. Wear eye protection. Wear gloves, full gloves with fingers. I have full gloves with fingers. They're ventilated gloves. And I live in Florida and I drive in the heat all the time, and my hands don't sweat because they're ventilated gloves. They're mesh style gloves with protections over the knuckles and stuff in case there's an accident. I don't want to have an accident, but just in case, I have the stuff just in case they do. So I don't go like that guy who had his fingernails tore off and his hands all messed up. He couldn't even touch the phone to dial because all his fingers were bloody. Just anyway, I thought I'd share that with you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.